Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. And before I dive into today's Kiki, which is a look at the very toxic, bizarre, disturbing, strange life and marriage and scandal that is Lisa Rinna and Harry Hamlin, be sure to like this video. So like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to share this with a friend because a kiki is always better with community. And check out the description box below. We have a ton of goodies there. And also be sure to shop the Love collection. We have some great merch, so check it out. So before we dive in, this was a candy cane request. I got a couple of requests for this video. They wanted, like, you guys really wanted me to do a deep dive into the marriage, the life of Harry Hamlin and Lisa Rinna. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to want to stay to the end of this video because things that I uncovered, I had no idea. And I thought I knew it all when it came to Bravo and the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But there are some things that even I was shocked to find out. So with that, let's dive right on in. So first up, we have the allegations of the R word and SA and physical abuse against Harry Hamlin. Now, let's give some context and I'll tell you guys a bit about this story. So back in Amsterdam, we all know that Lisa Rinna lost her freaking mind. She lost her mind when Kim Richards was like, well, let's talk about the husbands. You know, you don't want me to talk about the husbands. Let's talk about it. Lisa Rinna lost her mind. She got up. She, hit her wine glass against the table, and she had like a shark. She was gonna like shank Kim Richards. She wanted to like strangle her from across the table. It was a whole situation. Lisa Rinna really went off the deep end and lost her mind, which of course sparked everyone to think, well, what is it? What is the thing that Kim Richards knows that Lisa does not want to get out about the husbands? So a couple of things popped up. There has been blind items and rumors that there has been, DV, domestic V word against Lisa Rinna and Harry Hamlin. So behind the scenes, at home, what she was saying is that, Lisa Rinna and Harry Hamlin were fighting, physically fighting each other. They were, physically, going at it with each other. So that was one rumor swirling around. And then another rumor that was swirling around comes to this woman by the name of Julian Phillips. Oh, and again, you guys, everything in this video, you can Google it. You can do all that. But I also want to just say everything is alleged and rumored. Okay. Everything's alleged and rumored, but you can just Google all this stuff. Okay. So this is the story. Julian Phillips was another up-and-coming actress, very similar to that whole, Lisa Rinna, Denise Richards, Eileen, like that whole group of like that world of actresses coming up in the day. So rumor has it that Harry Hamlin was sleeping and dating both Lisa Rinna and Julian at the same time. Now, Harry and Julian were on the same show, Allie and Me, during this time. The story goes that Julian found out about Lisa Rinna and she wasn't having it, and she broke things off with Harry, and this really pissed Harry off. He did not like being rejected. He ended up R-wording her and also physically hurting her as well, like beating her up and all that stuff. And Lisa Rinna knew about it, and instead of saying like, oh my gosh, this is horrible, I can't believe you would do that to a woman, she attacks Julian, and she's like, if you say anything, we will destroy you. We're going to go to all the executives. You'll never work in this town again. And at that point, Julian was scared. She had just been R-word. She had just been beaten up. And so she sort of left Hollywood. She sort of left her acting career and everything. She since went on to be married to Bruce Springsteen. I believe they ultimately got divorced, but she went on to marry him. But that is one of the biggest rumors going around about what Kim Richards meant by you don't want to talk about the husbands. It's that Harry Hamlin R-word and physically assaulted this woman, Julian Phillips. Now, This has been reported all over the internet. This excerpt right here is from OK, Now Here's the Situation. And it says, this may be a lot of hype, so I will hold my breath until the book comes out. But Harry must be shaking in his boots. If our insider was right, there was a bombshell released about Harry and actress Julian Phillips about a serious sexual encounter the two had had on the set of Ally and Me in the 90s. And this is in reference to Kim Richards' book that she was going to publish. We all know that someone behind the scenes, maybe it was Kyle, maybe it was Kathy, maybe it was Kyle and Kathy, got her book squashed. So she was going to do this bombshell tell-all book, and word on the street, she was going to spill the beans about this, but we'll never know because the book got canned. All right. So now that we have that story in mind, I want to bring us to last season, season 11, episode 4, called Overexposed. Now, I'm going to play a video from that episode. So if anybody's watching on the replay and the video no longer plays, it's because if it's a copyright issue. So hopefully I don't get a copyright issue on it and we can just, all enjoy it. But just a heads up, just in case that happens. But let's watch it now because this was a very controversial story that Lisa Rinna told. You know what? Before I started, I should have said a trigger warning. So I apologize for telling the story I just told without giving everybody a trigger warning. So trigger warning again that this clip is going to talk about sensitive content around, the R word, around SAs, around violence towards women. So I'm so sorry. I forgot to give that trigger warning before I told the Julian Phillips story. So trigger warning for this clip as well. And again, this was from last season.
I've had a very rough past. That's great.
I agree.
I've had a very rough past year with people saying that I am the worst friend.
I think she feels like you are the bad guy in this movie.
Oh, and I get it. I understand it. I've talked to my husband so much about this because I'm going to share a story that he shared with me. He had a friend who he went and had a drink with, and that night, his friend went and ended up raping a girl.
Ay, ay, ay.
He's really... close friend.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God.
Okay, so his friend went to jail, and all of their friends said, we need to go and visit him and support him and love him. And Harry said, I can't do that. I just can't do it.
Blind loyalty.
Yes, and we spoke
There's
of
times
that.
you have to evaluate the situation.
Yes.
So the point of your story is that you couldn't blindly believe Denise.
Well, I couldn't blindly support.
You couldn't blindly
Well,
support
she
her.
could be blindly loyal.
I said that wrong.
Yeah.
You couldn't
Yeah.
blindly
Yes.
support her.
Yes.
I mean, I can see that Harry did the right thing, but you can't compare that to Denise on any level.
Okay, you guys. Okay. So, wow. So basically, Lisa Rinna told that crazy, bizarre story about Harry Hamlin's friend who allegedly R-word a woman, and then Harry was the only one out of all of the friend group to not just blindly support him and not go to the jail, to, you know, have his back or whatever the case may be. Again, Garcelle said everything that we were all thinking. What? Why are you telling this story? How are you how it's not comparable. It's not comparable. And if it wasn't clear, she was saying that in comparison to the fact that she was getting a lot of heat for not supporting her friend Denise Richards when it came to the Brandy hookup rumors. Now, how do you compare people saying you're not a good friend because you did not have Denise Richards' back when Brandy was going around saying that they had a hookup, versus you telling this story about your husband, Harry Hamlin, going to get drinks with his friend, who then later on went and allegedly R-word a woman, going to jail, and then him deciding that he's going to stand on his moral ground and not go to support the friend. Make that make sense. So this is an article from during that time when all of this happened, because obviously she received a lot of backlash for this. Ooh, you guys. But I also had a couple things that I wanted to bring up in regards to Lisa Rinna telling this story before I dive into a little bit of what the article says. Okay, a couple of things. One, Lisa Rinna now, more than ever, has a documented history of lying, of making things up, of using Harry Hamlin as an scapegoat whenever she feels she needs cover or she needs to get out of hot water. For example, Bravo leaked the deleted scene where Lisa Rinna admitted that she completely lied about the fact that Harry Hamlin ever said he had an issue with how many times Garcelle thanked him for the spaghetti sauce. Again, one of the dumbest storylines, but here we are. So she already admitted that she is willing to lie for a storyline. She's willing to lie to make herself look like the victim. She's willing to lie in order to make other people look like the bad guy. And she tends to use Harry Hamlin as cover. She also did this when it came to Bunnygate. Don't forget, when Lisa went to give the bunny to Kim Richards, she said, Harry thought it would be a good idea for me to give you this bunny for your grandchild. Again, she's using Harry to diffuse a situation. She's using Harry for cover because, you know, for whatever reason, the ladies have no problem with Harry. Everybody loves Harry. Oh, it's Harry Hamlin, blah, 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 right? So she always uses Harry Hamlin for cover whenever she wants to get out of a situation where she's being called out on her BS. So my conspiracy theory is Lisa Rinna made up this story. I think it's a lie. I don't think that Harry Hamlin has some alleged friend who he went to get drinks with, and then that friend went and R-word a woman, and Harry Hamlin was the only person who stood on his moral high ground and did not go and support the guy. I think this is a lie. I think Lisa Rinna made this story up. I don't think this ever happened. I don't think Harry Hamlin ever said that to her. I think it's a bold-faced lie. We also know Lisa Rinna is willing to lie. Look at everything that happened with Kathy and Aspengate. You know, believe what you want, but it's pretty much been debunked that Kathy never said the N-word or the homophobic rant. You know, there's a very small percentage of people that believe that is true. You know, did Kathy pop off? Sure. But was it this homophobic, racist rant? It doesn't make sense. None of that tracks. And we all know Lisa Rinna is a liar. I think this is another time where she's lying. I don't think Harry Hamlin told her that story. I don't think that ever happened. I think she lied and made it up for cover. For cover. And she had the audacity and it's so sickening. It's so sickening that she would literally compare, and this made up story, in my personal opinion, she would compare a woman being R'd to Brandy claiming that she had a hookup with Denise. The whole situation was disgusting. She got a lot of backlash at the time, but apparently that has sort of just like quietly gone away. On the flip side, my other conspiracy theory is, We just talked about what happened to Julian Phillips, allegedly. Was she talking about Harry? Was Harry the friend that went and got a drink and then afterwards went and R-word a woman? According to the rumor, again, it's alleged, according to the rumor, Lisa Rinna knew that Harry Hamlin allegedly R-word Julian Phillips. And she stood by him. And not only did she stood by him, but she went and tried to destroy Julian. Is she talking about Harry? Is Harry the friend that went and R-word a woman? Are you actually talking about Harry asking for a friend? So miss me with all of this, Lisa Rinna. It's really disturbing and super, super gross and just a hot mess. Okay, next up. This I had no idea about, but it's going to shed some light to what is now currently happening when it comes to another housewife. But let's get into it. So this is not alleged, actually. I'll say alleged, even though this is public record. So Harry Hamlin was arrested for running a brothel. You heard me, a brothel, a prostitution house. I'm going to read the article and then we'll dive in, okay? Let me read the article and then we'll dive in. So, according to here's the situation. Harry Hamlin was once arrested for running a brothel. Okay, so I doubt this is the scandal that Kim Richards is referring to when she claims she has major dirt on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Lisa Rinna's husband, actor Harry Hamlin, since Harry has openly talked about this odd arrest from his college years. But it's an interesting little nugget in the evidence file as we search for the big alleged bombshell. Again, remember, we think the bombshell is actually the Julian Phillips alleged R-word, a large physical altercation situation, okay? That's what we think the bombshell is. All right, let's get back to the article. All right. Additionally, I am not sure how seriously to take this arrest since some of it is mirrored in ambiguity and possibly some politicking, but nonetheless, it is there on his permanent record. Okay. It says a few years ago, he was interviewed by GQ magazine, and the situation was brought up when GQ asked if he was ever part of any kind of counterculture movement, and he regaled the mag with the story of how he became de facto president of a pseudo fraternity and was arrested for running a brothel. I left the prep school and I went to Berkeley from Pottstown, Pennsylvania. I lived in this house that had been a fraternity house and was turned into a vegetarian commune. In order to maintain our status with the university, we had to fill out paperwork and basically pretend that we were a fraternity. This house had 12 or 13 rooms in it that had been rented out because we had to pay the fraternity a monthly sum in order to keep going. So we rented out the rooms to girls and boys, and they didn't have to be students at the university. So I was named the quote-unquote president. This was all fine and good until the spring of my sophomore year, when we had a fire, and the Berkeley Daily Gazette showed up along with the fire department at 3 o'clock in the morning and plucked girls off the roof with their cherry pickers because the house was on fire. And the university got wind of it, and I was actually kicked out of Berkeley as a result of that. I was thrown out for running a brothel. This is what the paper said. They said I was basically running a house of ill repute and that all of this sexual deviancy was going on. And Ronald Reagan was governor at the time, which meant he was the head of the board of regents of the university because of the UC system. Reagan had already proclaimed that Berkeley was a hotbed of sexual deviants and drug users, so I suddenly became the focus of this event and the dean of men. Wow. Well, it kind of sounds to me like Harry was the house manager and perhaps looked the other way on some prostitution going on in the house. But I'd say it's still possible that he was more actively involved, like as house manager, he was renting rooms by the hour to prostitutes. Either way, it's not all that incriminating, just an interesting piece of the puzzle. Wow. But the info is intriguing in light of the claims that Hamlin may have been sexually aggressive with a co-star in the 1990s. Again, and that co-star was Julian Phillips, who we just talked about. Now, Wow. Okay. So basically with the article, and again, this is from here's the situation. So basically what the article is saying is that Harry Hamlin had a house when he was living in Berkeley, almost like a frat house, and they were renting out rooms to prostitutes by the hour. That is running a brothel. That's you know what I mean? Men can go there, men or women, whatever the preference is, can go there. They can, get a room, do whatever sexual activity they want, pay a fee and leave. That's running a brothel. That's running a prostitution ring. Now, what makes this so interesting in light of 2022 is we all know the Diana Jenkins allegations that she was, all involved in alleged sex trafficking, human trafficking, alleged madame of high-class prostitutes, X, Y, and Z. We also know that his wife, and this is the interesting part, his wife, Lisa Rinna, was featured in the book Room 23. And the book Room 23, we all know, was in the media and the press and the blogs as basically this, high-class prostitute, high-class hooker, D-list, C-list, B-list actors in it, whatever, models, whatever in it, musicians, whatever, were in it. And it was basically like their calling card, like their headshot book. You go in and then the wealthy men can go and say, I want that one, how much? I want that one, how much? There's so many allegations with that, of what's going on with Diana Jenkins. Now, obviously, Harry Hamlin didn't know Lisa Rinna back when he was in college, but I do think it's an interesting fact to think about that he has the capability, he has the personality, he has the propensity to, and again, this is on his permanent record, he was arrested for running a brothel. So if he has the personality, if he has the propensity, the mindset, the lack of a moral compass to run a prostitution house on campus, is it that far of a stretch that he would attract or be married to Lisa Rinna, who appeared in book Room 23 and who has made it very clear that she would do anything for a buck? Now, do with that what you will. You can make 2 and 2 make 4. I just think that's really super interesting. And that was actually something about Harry that I did not know. All right, so let's move on to the next disturbing bit. Okay, now we're going to have to talk about the Harry Hamlin gay rumors. Okay, guys? Now, listen, I want to make it very clear. When at any time on my channel where we ever talk about gay, straight, lesbian, bi, trans, LGBTQIA, queer, questioning, anytime we talk about that, we're doing it from a place of respect. We're doing it from a place of inclusivity. So if I do talk about a gay conspiracy or whatever it is, I'm just talking about it because it's relevant. I am by no means shaming. I'm no by means saying it's wrong. I am by no means saying it's something that should be hidden or anything like that. So again, when we talk about anything to do with identity, gender, and sexuality on my channel, it's coming from a place of respect and understanding. So I just wanted to clear that up as we go into what could be a sensitive subject, which is, Harry Hamlin's conspiracy that he's gay. People have said that he's living in Canada with his boyfriend. Lisa Rinna on the show has kind of made excuses for why he had long acrylic fingernails, saying, oh, he does it for his guitar. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. Kelly Dodd came out and was like, oh, Harry Hamlin's going to be the next one exposed. She said this to Radar Online and in Page 6 after the whole Chris Grizzly big, fraud case came out, alleged same-sex affairs came out. And Kelly Dodd came out and was just like, oh, Harry Hamlin is going to be the next one to go down. Kelly Dodd, she's a questionable source, so I don't know. But again, I'm going to read you guys an article about this. And this is, again, from OK, Here's the Situation. And they break down the Harry Hamlin gay conspiracy. Okay, this is what the article says. Normally, I don't write much about the Real Housewives, but I don't simply want to rehash what happened on the episode. But on Tuesday night, I had an epiphany regarding the battle between Kim Richards and Lisa Rinna on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And I know, this is not new, this notion of a Harry Hamlin gay conspiracy. But some things that Tuesday's episode really solidified that is the big secret in my mind that Kim is threatening to expose. And then it goes on to say, here's my case for the Harry Hamlin gay conspiracy. Number 1, the magnitude of the anger coming from Lisa Rinna as a result of the threat suggests that Kim actually has something pretty damning on her quote-unquote husband. Remember the threatening text from Lisa to Kim? The text said, be very careful, I will F you up. And your behavior and the way you treat people is not okay. You are nasty and you need to be stopped now. This is what Lisa Rinna sent to Kim. Then the article goes on to say, I can't imagine that Rinna would be worried about Kim making allegations about anything since Kim does not have much credibility. So this suggests to me that Kim has actual evidence. Number 2. Lisa going on friend Jenny McCarthy's radio show and talking about wearing a strap-on for Harry. Obviously, Lisa is a genius at PR and just owning it and just owning an issue. This way, she gets out ahead of it in case Kim releases something incriminating. Every celebrity PR agent will tell you the best way to do crisis management is to come out in front of something before it hits the news. Notice Jenny asks if Harry might be a little bisexual, to which Lisa responds, no. So now if evidence emerges that Hamlin is a little bit gay or a lot gay, they can say, oh, we are just a couple that likes to experiment, but Harry is totally straight, just a little kinky. Obviously, pal Jenny McCarthy was helping her friend out. That part, I've seen Jenny McCarthy help out Lisa Rinna a couple of times, but back to the article. Number 3, remember Lisa Rinna asked if she should send Kim a happy birthday wish on Twitter. Sorry, you guys. On Twitter, to which Harry responded, go for it. Kyle said, no way. But this was Lisa's way of trying to kill Kim with kindness and keep her from talking. And clearly, Harry has a stake in this game too. So then the big question is, how did Kim get this scandal on Harry? From her sister Kyle? No way. Lisa and Kyle are way too friendly. And I don't think Lisa is dumb enough to disclose this secret to anyone on this show. That's true. Lisa doesn't talk about anything in her life. So who then? It's got to be BFF Brandi Glanville, who was seriously angry that she was booted from her lucrative $400,000 and $1,000 a season gig on the show for the likes of Lisa Rinna. Not to mention Rinna is lashing out on Twitter at Kim and Brandi together. And one tweet she said, who has lawsuits filed against them as we speak? Kim and Brandi, one for a dog and one for a puppy. And good night. Or it says, maybe it's not a puppy. Maybe it says for a P and then it's blurred out. So who knows what that is? Notice a subtle threat. You don't want another lawsuit filed against you, do you? Wow. Brandi also has dirt on people, and I also don't dismiss the possibility that Lisa Vanderpump is somehow behind this, being that she likes to do her sniping from the side, as Erica Jane so eloquently expressed. Especially since Lisa Vanderpump runs the West Hollywood gay mafia and must have the dirt on all of the secretly gay celebrities. But Brandi has a lot of friends on the inside in her own right, and Brandi is a serious Scorpion. I don't know if she's a Scorpio, but she acts like one. She wants revenge. That's why Kyle was complaining about Brandi always tweeting pictures of her and her sister Kim together. It was Bravo's way of tying it all together for us without blatantly outing anyone. Here's the situation in my opinion. Kim got dirt from Brandi Glanville that Harry Hamlin is gay or bisexual, and Kim is a serious loose cannon, and anything could set her off. The dirt may or may not have trickled in from Lisa Vanderpump, aka Bobby Fischer. Hence the conversation about Lisa being Bobby Fischer again. Bravo's a way of throwing it all out there without getting anyone in trouble or sued. I think Kyle reconnecting with Kim was also Kim's way of trying to protect Lisa Rinna. Was also Kyle's way of trying to protect Lisa Rinna. I think Brandi may also be looking for a payoff since she is bitter about missing out on that big Bravo check. It appears to me to be a lot of subtle threats going back and forth and negotiation happening on screen. But even if Rinna pays off Brandi and Kim, the information is likely coming from somewhere else, and all bets are off and that it won't be released, especially if releasing it helps ratings. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, now, I don't think that if Kim Richards has receipts that Harry Hamlin is gay, that it came from Brandi or Lisa Vanderpump. No. I think we have to remember that back in the day, Kim Richards was a part of that crew. Remember? Kim was a part of the crew. She was hanging out with like Robbie Downey Jr. Like, you know what I mean? That whole crew of back in those like 80s, 90s actors, all of those people. Kim wasn't running around with that crew. She was that girl back in the day. You know what I mean? So I don't think that she needs Brandi or Lisa Vanderpump to give her dirt on Harry. I think she has the dirt because that was her crew back in the day. Remember, these people have known each other for decades, since they were in their 20s, coming up, right? If not even before then. I think that Kim has the dirt on Harry because she probably saw him doing the dirt, or she was doing the dirt with him. You know, she was a part of that group. She was part of that whole pack. Also, I think it could be gay rumors. I think it could be the Julian Phillips thing, but it also could be drug use. Remember, Kim has battled with her sobriety. She's had drug abuse issues. She's had, I believe, in alcohol issues, right? I'll say allegedly on drugs because I think only publicly it's been alcohol. I'm not sure. So allegedly. So maybe it's also big time drug abuse. You know, she was hanging out with that crowd. You know, Robbie Downey Jr. has gone to rehab multiple times and he finally got clean. But that whole group of people, I can't remember any of the other names, but, you know, that whole group of those 90s, 80s, I think the 80s, I don't know, 90s, 80s actors, right? That whole crew, they were all boozing it up and doing drugs and sleeping with each other and swapping partners and just letting it all hang out. So Kim Richards doesn't need Brandi or LVP for that. Kim has the dirt because she lived it with him. So the big bombshell could be a lot of things. It could be the Julian Phillips alleged R word and, you know, physical, you know, altercation. You know, it could be the gay conspiracy. It could be, you know, drug use. It could be a lot of different things that's all coming out. So let's see. What is next on the list? All right, so next up is just Harry Hamlin in general. Cheating allegations. So I don't know if you guys remember, but this was back in 2020, and there was people coming out and saying that Harry Hamlin was cheating on Lisa Rinna. You know, more cheating allegations came out. So this is a tweet from @BigBrother, but not the Big Brother. It's like Big Brother. I don't want to get in trouble with them. It's a different person who's tweeting. And he says, I don't have any receipts, but it's legit. He told, and he added Lisa Rinna. At Lisa Rinna, he's quote unquote off the grid for a few days and then literally spent an entire 2 days in my friend's bedroom at her cottage. Patricia is a Muskoka blank that everyone knows, Harry included. And then this person did #Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, #Watch What Happens Live. So this person had no problem adding Lisa Rinna and hashtagging the show and hashtagging Bravo. That's pretty bold. That's pretty bold. There was also a claim that this same woman, Patricia, actually, it went on for longer than 2 days. There was another claim that he had a summer-long affair with this woman. Summer-long affair, guys. Crazy. So this is one cheating allegation that came out about Harry, amongst other ones. Again, people are saying he lives in Canada with his boyfriends. People are saying that, it's a open secret. People have seen him out, this, that, and the third. Now, this is how Lisa Rinna clapped back. So Lisa Rinna goes, hashtag, Flashback Friday, appreciation post to my very busy husband who apparently doesn't live with us, is having a lot of affairs and is gay. Go Harry effing Hamlin. Now, again, like that article said, PR, the best way to get in front of it is to like joke about it, to quote unquote own it, to get ahead of it. But everything she says, we've been talking about for a long time. She said on the show, she made her own slip-ups on the show. Harry's in Canada, and he goes to Canada, and when he's done doing what he do, he goes back to Canada. She's made those slip-ups herself. It's out there. Everyone says Harry has not lived with Lisa for a very long time, and he lives in Canada. That's where he lives. Is having a lot of affairs. That's been on the streets, just like Mauricio. For years and years and years, word on the street, Harry Hamlin has been having, affairs with men, with women. Again, anytime we talk about sexuality or gender or identity, we do it from a place of respect. So just because we're talking about it doesn't mean that we think anything is wrong with it, okay? It's always from a place of respect. And that he's gay. So these rumors have been out there for a long time. It is not a secret, but that was her way of trying to get ahead of it and to, do it. Oh, and you guys, it just came to me. I wish I had a picture of it. Okay. It just came to me. Do you guys remember when it came out where there was these balcony pictures of Lisa Rinna and this like really young guy? And I think it was like a hotel balcony or something like that. And it was alleged that she was cheating on Harry Hamlin with the guy. And it was like photos of her. She had her iconic hairdo. And it was with the, I forgot who he was, but he was like this young guy in his 20s. So, maybe Harry does him, maybe Lisa does her, and they have an agreement. They have an understanding. You do you, boo-boo, I'll do me. And to be honest, some people are okay with their spouse, if it's an open marriage, with their spouse having sex with other people. Some people are okay with their spouse having sex with people from the same sex. Sometimes that's okay. That can just be their choice. So maybe they do have this open marriage and they have this open relationship, and it's just sort of you do you and I'll do me. But you guys, you can Google it. I remember when it came out, Lisa Rinna was on a balcony. She was wearing a white robe, and allegedly that was with her, guy on the side, her boo thing, her side piece. Oof. So we kind of went down all of that. Now let's move on to the next situation, which is, of course, their children. Delilah and Amelia. So I never like to talk about anybody's children, but since she brings them up on the show, since they're on the show, we're going to talk about it. We have to talk about it. Again, no disrespect to anybody's children, but let's talk about the situation. So on the show, Lisa herself has admitted that she doesn't even know where her children are. Like, she was like, I don't even know where my kids are. She said this multiple times. She's talked about that situation. And it's always been very strained. Let's not forget about the scene where Amelia wouldn't eat when Harry was barbecuing and he was, making all the food and he was so excited. He was being, Chef Harry Hamlin. And Amelia was just like, miss me with this. I don't feel like eating. She was in a really bad mood. She was being very disrespectful to her father. She gave him the middle finger, and Harry looked like he wanted to cry. It was very awkward, very weird. And then Harry says to Lisa, this is your fault. This is your fault. Basically being like why Amelia was being really disrespectful and not wanting to eat. He was saying it was Lisa Rinna's fault. So there have been signs, there have been moments where we've seen the dysfunction and the toxic nature of their family dynamics. And then it was also chronicled in Us Weekly. So I'm going to read the Us Weekly article. And it says, Hamlin family drama over the years. From Amelia's relationship with Scott Disick to Delilah's overdose. Okay, so we're going to get into it. All right, so this is what the article says. It starts with Amelia's ED. In April 2018, trigger warning. In April 2018, Amelia got honest about her journey to recovery after struggling with an ED. I feel comfortable with finally posting something that I wish I was confident enough to post long ago. The California native captioned side-by-side photos of her once year prior compared to her currently. Last year at this time, there was no doubt that I was not okay, not only physically, but also mentally. Instead of people ever commenting on my mental stability, people commented on my weight. Usually when people are struggling with an ED, it stems from your mind, and your body is a reflection of it. Once I got the help that I needed, shortly after the second photo was taken, I began to love myself more. As Rinna discussed her daughter's ED on the Brothel reality series 1 year later, Amelia reflected on the decision to share her story with the world. I didn't tell anyone I planned to come out, so to speak. Instead, I took my phone down to the beach to be alone and started drafting an Instagram post. Just writing it down helped me a lot. I started crying. Even for me, it was powerful to read the truth. I felt lighter, she wrote in a vulnerable essay for Glamour magazine in 2019. I wish I could pull up a screen and show the world a play-by-play of my past. Amelia also called out the people claiming her mother didn't help her, detailing, my mom tried to help me so much, but every time I'd just be like, no, I'm fine. I'm just on a weight loss journey. To have people saying she didn't do enough hurts my heart so much. If they could see how much I rejected her help and now how much I pushed her away, it hurts me for her. Mm-hmm. All right. Now it says Delilah and Amelia's participation on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. After being accused of lying about her ED to get airtime on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Amelia called out the accusations. I usually don't post these, but this really got to me. Lying about a mental illness is disgusting, something I hope nobody would ever do. I seriously can't believe I'm being accused of lying about the A word when it comes to EDs to get more airtime. Sorry, but I'm forced to be on the Housewives by my mom. She wrote via Instagram on July 2020, ask anyone, it's the last thing I want to do. I couldn't care less about airtime, so F you. Okay, I'm going to stop here because I think this is important to point out. Did you catch the contradiction? Did you catch the contradiction? Before she says, my mom is so supportive. My mom is helping me so much, blah, 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 right? That's what she says in the edited PR clip that she's giving to the magazine, right? That's the very PR, edited, PR approved. My mom is so supportive. My mom is with me on this journey. She wants to help me so much. But did you catch the contradiction in the post where it's just her talking? She says, I seriously can't believe I'm being accused of lying about A word ED to get more airtime. Sorry, but I'm forced to be on the Housewives by my mom. That is the truth. Lisa Rinna was forcing her daughters to be on a show that was enabling, triggering her mental disease and her ED and her low self-esteem. She says it right here herself. I'm forced to be on the Housewives by my mom. Ask anyone, it's the last thing I want to do. I couldn't care less about airtime. So what does that tell you? It tells you Lisa Rinna cares more about airtime for her children, having a storyline through their pain, through their trauma, than she does about the actual mental and physical well-being of her own children on what it means to be on the show. To be on the show, going through an ED, being accused of lying, very, very similar to what they did to Crystal this season. We're seeing all the parallels, right? Someone comes out saying they have an ED, all of a sudden they're lying. So Lisa Rinna cares less about the mental and emotional trauma and pain and hurt that it's causing her children to be exposed to this type of criticism, to this type of scrutiny. She cares more about forcing her daughter to be on the show. She said it herself. She says, I'm forced by my mom. Okay, let's keep going. Now she's trying to do some cleanup, right? The model quickly made headlines for her use of the word first, which she later clarified. I'm not going to read that because that's just a bunch of BS, okay? Okay, let's get to Delilah's overdose. During a November 2021 Instagram video, Delilah recalled how an attempt to seek treatment for her panic attacks with a psychiatrist turned into her being overprescribed 3 milligrams of Xanax a day. She goes on to say, my body got dependent on Xanax, number 1, and number 2, I OD'd. I didn't mean to at all. I OD'd on this medication called something, I'm not going to say it. Delilah shared during the video, I took Benadryl with it, and for some reason, I ended up in the hospital. Delilah's visit to an Arizona center, which she emphasized was not a rehab facility, helped her kick her dependence on Xanax, but she continued to face other symptoms as a result of her declining mental health. She goes on to say, I'm having seizures left and right, she said. My health is getting scary. Unfortunately, I think a medical risk. So I was politely asked to leave after 3 weeks of being there and making a best friend. Wow. And this is a snapshot, which on the screen, we'll get to that. Okay. Now it says Lisa and Harry's reaction to Amelia's relationship with Scott Disick. Amelia sparked romance rumors with Scott Disick in October 2020, which shocked Rinna and Harry at the time. It's a what an F moment. You're like, what the F? She's 19. He's 30. He's 37 with 3 kids. The Days of Our Lives alum told her co-star Erica Jane in a June 2021 episode. We're thinking it's a phase, right? It's a phase. I don't want to bring attention to it. Okay, Lisa Rinna, you don't want to bring attention to it, yet you're talking about it on the show. And you said it like 20 times on the show. Girl, bye. Then it goes, 3 months after their relationship was mentioned on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Us Weekly broke the news that Amelia and Disick has split after less than 1 year of dating. Rinna noted that her opinion of the romance didn't play a role in the breakup. So then it goes on to say, Harry, who also voiced disapproval of the major age gap in the past, later offered an update on how his daughter was doing after calling the quits with the talentless co-founder. Look, Amelia's doing great. She's living in New York and she's having the time of her life solo, the Mad Men alum said during an appearance on the Watch Happens Live with Andy Cohen in December 2021. I have no idea about the breakup. I didn't pull the curtain. I have no idea what exactly happened. I'm just glad that she is solo, put it that way. It goes on to say, Delilah shading her parents amid her health issues. After deleting one TikTok video that seemingly addressed her relationship with her parents, Delilah posted another video where she jokingly brings up her mental health issues. I'm so sorry that I've been acting weird for the past several months. I'm struggling mentally. She lip-synced in the December 2021 clip. At the time, a source exclusively told Us Weekly that the Delilah video came from a moment of frustration, noting that the model wouldn't have posted it and aired her issues with her parents if they weren't real. So they're saying it's real. They're saying this is real. And although Rinna may not see eye to eye with her older daughter all the time, the insider added that the Melrose Place alum would never refuse her child money if she needed it. Yeah, right. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Now, at the very end, it says Amelia's displeasure with her mother's social media post. In December 2021, the Rinna Beauty founder made headlines after she posted a video of her daughter's Delilah's boyfriend, Eyal Booker, dancing to Rod Stewart's Do You Think I'm Sexy? Amelia called her mother out for sharing the TikTok on her social media, writing, no way you posted this. She also added, please no. Like we said, we do it for you, not for the internet. Thank you. Shortly after Rinna deleted the post, the Brothel personality shared a new video of her dancing to the song Alone, writing, the kid's doing it so much cuter, but whatever. Dun, 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 dun. All right, so Lisa Rinna is also willing to exploit her daughter and her daughter's boyfriend. So there you have it. You know, Delilah, she was saying unrealistic things that I want for Christmas for my parents to pay for my trauma therapy. Remember, she was online crying, saying she needed help, and her parents were refusing to pay. That's really weird and bizarre. Now, let's just quickly go over just other really strange, odd, and weird things. We all know about Lisa Rinna and Harry Hamlin dressing up as Sid and Nancy for Halloween, actually wearing the, I'm not going to say it on my platform, but the sign I'm talking about, that sign that represents, hate, the sign that represents bigotry. You know what I mean? That universal sign of hate. He had it on the shirt. He had no problem wearing it. Also, let's not forget about the Nicolette Sheridan versus Lisa Rinna beef. Lisa Rinna claimed that Nicholas Sheridan cheated on Harry Hamlin with Michael Bolton. Nicolette Sheridan came out and was like, girl, you lost your mind. Me and Harry had decided to get divorced. I was friends with Michael Bolton. We got together afterwards. Keep my name out your mouth, pretty much. And then don't forget that Lisa just has a general history of being evil, a liar, and very problematic. If you missed it, I did a whole video on celebrities who can't stand Lisa Rinna, so go and watch that. Just to name a few, we have Vicki Gunvalson, Lisa Vanderpump, Paris Hilton, Yolanda Hadid, Kim Richards, Kathy Hilton, Denise Richards, and the list goes on and on. Oof, that was a lot, you guys. That was a lot. We covered everything from our allegations to domestic partnership allegations to people getting, arrested for running a brothel, for Lisa Rinna being in room 223, to the children crying out for help with their mental illnesses, with their EDs, with everything going on, needing therapy. We touched upon the gay rumors. We touched upon the cheating allegations, both Lisa Rinna cheating and Harry Hamlin cheating with men, with women, with whatever. We've touched upon Lisa Rinna, most likely making up a story about someone being Ard in order to compare herself to, I don't even know, when it came to Denise. It's just a hot mess. But I want to know what you guys think. Put it down below in the comment box. What do you think was the worst, most shocking allegation? Do you believe the rumors? Do you believe the hype? And are you surprised by any of this? We all know Lisa Rinna is deranged and unhinged. So before you leave your comments down below, guys, you know what to do. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to share this with a friend because a kiki is always better with community. Also, be sure to check out the description box below and shop the Love collection and grab yourself some goodies. They're all listed down below. And with that, you guys, I love you. Take care of yourselves and each other. And until next time, bye. I love you. Hit that like button. Bye.
Welcome to Sugar Pills, a practical guide to self-care, where your host, writer, actor, and producer Candy Washington helps you live a more joyful life with a cheeky dash of pop culture news. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and join the conversation on Instagram @Candy Washington. Let's go.